Okay, hello and welcome to the Black Star Name channel. This is the cooking edition. Okay, today we're going to be making yam and kotommire. Now, kotommire is usually cocoyam leaves or cocoyam leaf stew, but we've used spinach because we couldn't find the real cocoyam leaves at this occasion. But this is a very good alternative. Okay, now we'll start with the ingredients. We have 2 packets of spinach. I have 3 onions. You can use 2 if you want to, but I love onions. Got 2 cloves of garlic. Got anchovy fillets here. I've got sardines. Well, they're both in olive oil. I've got 1 jumbo cube seasoning, original version, not the specific flavoured ones. Okay, and we've got nice yam. Some nice yam here. Okay. I'm going to begin with cutting the onions into small bits, and then I'm going to grind this into the mortar, and that's where we're going to start from. Okay, and a slight reminder is to add 2 Scotch bonnet peppers. I'll be grinding this with the onions and the spinach and everything, the fish, but I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we're back now. We chopped up the onions now. There was a lot of onions, so I've divided them into 2 mortars, and we'll grind that later, so we leave that on the side and we focus on the yam. Now, I've cut up the yam. What I've done is I've peeled the yam, chopped it up, and then cut it into fine pieces. That's what I've done. Now I'm going to wash it. It's very important that afterwards you wash your hands. Around. Usually I rinse it twice just to make sure. Do it one more time. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill up the pot with water and then send it boiling. Make sure it's evenly distributed. Little mistake there. Splash of water. Okay, before I start this up, I'm going to add some salt. A little bit of salt, I forgot to mention that. I don't like a lot of salt in my food, so I'm not going to put too much. Okay, now start the fire. Make sure it's all covered in water, so when it's boiling, they all get cooked. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is, meanwhile when that is boiling, I'm going to fix up the spinach. So I want to warm up the spinach. So I filled this with water. I'm going to put the spinach inside. I'm throwing leaves everywhere. Don't worry, no leaf will get wasted. No leaf is escaping. Okay. Now we're gonna put this on the fire. I'm not gonna put it too high because it's the yam that I want boiling. I want this to be warm. Okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna smoke the sardines and smoke some anchovy fillets. Sorry, I mean fillets. Phillips, you know. But because there's oil in this, it's going to be hard to smoke, so you have to drain as much oil as you can. So we'll start with the anchovy. I'm only going to use possibly half of this, maybe a quarter of this, but I'll use all of the sardine. I'm going to drain this out. That's reasonably about half. I'll do the same with the sardine. Try and separate for the oil. So I put it on the plate. Drain the sardines. Also, you can use all of the anchovies if you want. It's up to you how much of these things you want to use. Make sure all the oil is poured out. I use a different bulk for this one. Separate the oil. Okay, this is what's going to get smoked. Okay. I'll put this away. Light this up. Medium or to low temperature. And I'm going to place them on a dry pan. Put the sardines first. Doesn't matter if they're broken up into pieces as long as they're frying or smoking. Really they're frying, but it ends up having the same flavour as it being smoked. Not as good, but near enough. I put the anchovies. Make sure you separate them. Like that. Put them flat. Now the anchovies stink a lot, so if you don't like strong smells, well, to be honest, you won't like this if you don't like strong smells. But if you don't like strong smells but you still like fish, leave the doors open. That's very important. Leave the doors open. I haven't left the doors open, so I'll make sure I do that very soon. Oh yeah, make sure you remember which one is sardine and which one is anchovy. You'd be surprised at how many people make mistakes, including myself. So I just burned myself. Turn it down. Be careful, yeah? Just talking to my brother who might not be used to the oil splurting out. But the last remaining parts of the oil is just frying it. But soon it will turn black, and that's when it starts having the flavour as if it was smoked. But technically it's being fried. But I like to say it's being smoked. So you wash your hands. Now whilst that is frying, I will turn this occasionally when I think it's being burnt in the bottom. Okay, now meanwhile, I'm going to grind out these onions, and then I'm going to come back and put these two each in. So, be back in 10 minutes. Okay, I've grinded down the onions now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pepper in each one, garlic in each one. And then I'm going to grind quickly. Yeah. Now, you can get any mortar and pestle and do this. You have to make sure the garlic is totally grinded. Now, to make it easier to grind the garlic, it's probably to boil it before to make it soft. Okay, that will do. This one I'll do later. That's the spinach. It's finished. Now, this one's been heated for a while. Really, you don't need to do it till it's done. You're meant to do it just under. Okay, we've got our kotommire ready. I've grinded both of them and they all look like this. The yam has been done, sorry I didn't show you, but you know the yam is done when you fill the water and then after it's been boiling for 30 minutes it goes down halfway or to the bottom. You don't really want it to go right to the bottom, it might burn and stick to the bottom. But you pour the water out, you rinse it because the liquid formed is very thick. It's not healthy. And then now it's done. So put this next to each other. And there you go. Yam and kotommire.